So guys, I now love the way Nnamdi Kanu's family is attacking the United Kingdom. I'm going to show you what they told them today. Enough is enough. You can't be feigning ignorance when you know that this particular person is your citizen and you have every right to interfere with what is actually going on in the country. You've not spoken about the illegal renditioning of this particular man. I'm going to show you what Nnamdi Kanu's family actually told the UK today. Remember, the other day I published a video showing how Nnamdi Kanu's wife, being Uchechi Kanu, blasted the UK government. It can't be feigning ignorance. It has been established by every court. Both the Kenya court and the Nigerian government violated a lot of laws in renditioning this particular man. And even in the United Kingdom, the law in the United Kingdom stipulated clearly what illegal. Let me show you what the UK government, their constitution says about illegal renditioning. And not just that, Nnamdi Kanu is a citizen of your country. So why are you being ignorant? Why are you feigning ignorant? Let me show you what the UK government spoke about the rendition before I talk about how the Nnamdi Kanu's family actually blasted told the UK government enough of all this pretense. Tell us your involvement and tell us why you are actually acting this way. Let me show you the UK government constitution on illegal extraordinary renditioning. Then before we talk about Nnamdi Kanu's family and what they said to them. So as you can see on the screen, this is legal status in the UK. They said that extraordinary rendition is considered inherently illegal under the UK and international law because it bypasses judicial oversight and violates human rights, including Article 3 of the UN Convention Against Torture and ECHR protections. The UK is bound by international treaties such as the UNCAT, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, which prohibit torture and arbitrary detention. So you could see that the UK government is bound by law to protect and speak against illegal renditioning, which is what they've refused to do in Nnamdi Kanu's case. Now let me show what Nnamdi Kanu's family actually did and how they blasted the UK government. They said Nnamdi Kanu's family blasts UK government overrule in IPOB's leader detention. They said that the family of the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has condemned the British government over alleged complicity in the ongoing detention of their son in Nigeria. They said the family, in a statement released on Sunday and signed by Prince Emmanuel Kanu, expressed sorrow and fury at what they described as Britain's historical betrayal and continued silence. According to the family, that Britain's refusal to intervene in the extraordinary rendition and trial of its own citizen, Nnamdi Kanu, signals a troubling pattern of systematic injustice towards the Igbo people. The family referenced the Nigerian civil war, accusing Britain of supporting the genocide against Biafrans by supplying arms to the Nigerian state. They stated that the methods may have changed since 1967, but the goal of suppressing the Igbo spirit remains unchanged in British policy. He said in 2021, they supplied the silence that allowed their citizens to be kidnapped and tortured, the family wrote. They questioned why the British High Commission in Nairobi failed to intervene during Kanu's abduction in Kenya, and why the UK Foreign Office looked away as his human rights were grossly violated. The family further cited what they called a pattern of hypocrisy, recalling a visit by British consular offices to Kanu in DSS custody in Abuja. Kanu had reportedly asked the consular officers why the UK was allowing its citizens to be tried for actions committed in the UK, where the IPOB and Radio Biafra are lawful entities. So Kanu was actually questioning the consular officers that the UK have been sending to his prison, that why is it that they're allowing him, being their own citizen, to be tried in another country where those crimes, or where they allege that those crimes were committed, we are not even committed. This is what Nnamdi Kanu, family said that Kanu told some of the British consular officers that visited him in prison. Let's go ahead. Into the statement, the British response was evasive. We will get back to you. A promise that was never fulfilled. When Nnamdi Kanu asked the British consular officer that visited him that why are you allowing me, being your citizen, to be tried in Nigeria where I did nothing, that the response that the British officer gave to him was, we will get back at you, or we'll get back to you. A promise that they never fulfilled. This is what Nnamdi Kanu's family is actually saying. Now let's go ahead. They said days after that meeting, Nigeria's Attorney General reportedly amended the charges against Kanu, removing any reference to the UK as the alleged location of his broadcast. So after Nnamdi Kanu demanded that from the British consular officer, Abubakar Malami amended the charges to remove anything that has to, or that will indicate that Kanu did all those broadcasts from the UK. Now, they said that the family alleges this was done either on British advice or with their consent to shield the UK from legal responsibility. So Nnamdi Kanu's family is saying that why is it that after Nnamdi Kanu, told the British officer that met him that, look at, I'm not supposed to be tried under the Nigerian law because I'm your citizen and where I did all these things are in the UK. That immediately he told them that, and when they left, Attorney General Abubakar Malami as of then amended the charges. So Nnamdi Kanu's family is saying, are you sure that it was not the British officers that visited Nnamdi Kanu that told the Nigerian government to amend the laws so that probably to exonerate the UK government from the entire issue and from the entire case? Let's go ahead to see what Nnamdi Kanu's family was saying. They said, let's continue. They emphasized that IPOB has never been banned in the UK, nor has any UK court issued an order against Kanu's brokers. Yet, the British government has persistently refused to challenge the legality of his detention and prosecution in Nigeria. He said the family cited violations of the UK's Extradition Act, Commonwealth Mutual Assistance Treaty, and international law, arguing that Britain's refusal to act is not neutrality but endorsement of injustice. We've said it. You cannot be on the fence. You cannot say you are on the fence on this particular case. It's either you are endorsing this illegality or you're not endorsing it, which is the truth. So for UK government not to be speaking or probably even condemning the illegal extraordinary renditioning means they're actually supporting this particular act. That is what it is. You cannot say you are on the fence. You cannot be on the fence on anything. It's either you are supporting this act or you are not supporting it. So the UK government, for all we know is actually, supporting this act. Let's go ahead. They said that when asked why the UK won't demand Kanu's return to Kenya or Britain, say officials from the UK Foreign Office replied that they cannot interfere in a Nigerian trial. So when the UK government was asked, why can't they, as a matter of fact, demand for Kanu's return to Kenya or Britain, that officials from the UK Foreign Office replied that they cannot, as a matter of fact, interfere in a Nigerian trial. Nobody is asking you to interfere in a Nigerian trial. This is your citizen. If the British citizen is arrested and prosecuted in Nigeria, wouldn't you people demand for his, if he's free or probably innocent, wouldn't you people demand for his right and probably, interfere with the entire judicial process? Nnamdi Kanu is your citizen, and by right, you're supposed, as a matter of fact, to interfere. Let's go ahead with what Nnamdi Kanu's family was actually saying. He said that the Kanu family strongly rejected this stance, accusing the UK of consistent interference not on behalf of justice, but to suppress truth and avoid culpability. The statement declared, this is not just force, it is a betrayal. They said that the UK has actively helped suppress evidence, protect Nigerian impunity, and erase its own role in Kanu's ordeal. So the Nnamdi Kanu's family is saying that the UK government systematically, erased their participation or role in Kanu's extraordinary rendition because they know that international communities will not be happy with the role they played. So they actually, make sure that they remove themselves from it, which does not make any sense. If you claim that you're world power and if you claim that you speak truth to power and probably you advocate for human rights and co, you should not, as a matter of fact, be allowing yourself to be used to, to maltreat people and all that. You should stand for justice and uphold what makes you a world power. Because you people drafted that this particular UN rights on human rights advocacy and co, and you're a signatory to that. So you can now come and feign ignorant that you don't know that even a court in Africa, if the Kenyan court told you that Nnamdi Kanu's fundamental right was actually violated for about 8 days, they tortured him and illegally renditioned him. For that, the court awarded 10 million Kenyan shillings, which is about $70,000 or 120 million to Nnamdi Kanu. That singular act or probably that singular judgment alone should indicate to the UK government that they are now becoming cowards. That even if Kenya can actually interfere and actually speak truth to power, so a big nation like them feigning ignorance is not normal again. It is not normal. Let's go ahead. They said the court asks. They said this statement is not made in anger, it is made in defiance. They said the court asks centuries of British deception in Africa and vow to continue challenging the silence that enables state-sponsored violence. The family demanded that the UK government publicly admit its role in the illegal rendition of Nnamdi Kanu and take concrete action to ensure his release and safe return. They urged the British Parliament to launch an inquiry into the actions of British diplomats in both Nairobi and Abuja. So they are telling the UK government that they should publicly admit its role in the illegal rendition of Nnamdi Kanu, because this is what the UK government is actually running away from. They know that the UN and other developed nations will actually, frown at them, the US and co. So they don't want to, stipulate or probably state their role. What they are doing, trying to do, is to feign ignorance or feign silence. It is the truth that people participated. There were a lot of collaborations, especially between the British parliaments or diplomats in those countries, Kenya and Abuja, before Nnamdi Kanu was actually abducted, because these things happened with a system or with a coordinated or probably systematic approach, which is basically and literally the truth. It was a well coordinated attack led by some, both the Abubakar Malami, the Attorney General of the Federation, and these particular British, diplomats in the respective countries. So this is what Nnamdi Kanu's family is actually telling the UK government, that people can no longer continue feigning ignorance or saying that they don't know, that you cannot, interfere. Meanwhile, this person is your citizen. Who abandons his citizen anywhere in the country? It literally practically makes no sense. Well, like I told you guys, we'll be, giving you more updates about this. Please, if this is your first time of coming here, do well to subscribe. And we've told James Omotosho that it will cost him absolutely nothing if you oppose justice on the 10th of October, the same way Justice MC Nwita of Kenya actually upheld the justice and ruled in favor of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The same way Justice Hanatu of Plateau State upheld justice and ruled in favor of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, saying that his extraordinary rendition renders all the cases or whatever trial they are doing to nothing. You cannot try a kidnapped victim. You cannot build on illegality. And I'll keep on repeating it here, that even the Constitution of Nigeria stipulates, the Federal High Court Act stipulates, that illegal rendition is tantamount to an act of terrorism. So if your law courts and your laws, France at illegal renditioning, so what else? Why did you not illegally rendition someone and trying a kidnapped victim? Two wrongs cannot make a right. No, you must actually correct or right your wrongs before you can talk about trial. You must first of all right your wrongs in the illegal extraordinary renditioning. That is what people are saying. You cannot try a kidnapped victim. It does not make any sense. The Nigerian government must, as a matter of fact, go back and right their wrongs before any charge will be brought against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Else, everything they are doing is tantamount to nothing. It is tantamount to an act of terrorism, which is stipulated in their own constitution, which is boldly written and stipulated in their own constitution. It's not anything. It is written in their own constitution. Well, that's all we have for you guys. Please do well to subscribe and click on the notification button. And also, I've often said that type freedom for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the comment section, so that we can support him. This is a way of supporting him and praying for him, so that he can actually get the victory that he deserves. And also, do well to drop your comments respectfully on these things. Do you think that the UK government is part and parcel of what is actually happening to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? And why do you think they are feigning ignorance and keeping quiet, even in the face of persecution that this particular man, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is facing? See you guys, and drop your comments in the comment section.